Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today it's time to give you an update on Pokémon TCG Pocket. Now, I showed you this yesterday, and I told you what we knew. I showed you the early information, and to be frank, I've done a lot of digging since I spoke to you about this yesterday. I've been looking into a whole bunch of different stuff, and I think I've learned quite a lot about the game between yesterday and today. Yesterday, I needed to share this news with you. It was redonkulously exciting. Today, I've had a good old time to have a good old think, and that means we can have a good old chat about it. We've also got a fair few cards that have been revealed, annoyingly mostly in Japanese. Most of the cards revealed, we got nice clear Japanese scans, not English, but I'm going to show you a whole bunch of cards that have been revealed as well, because actually, even more so than when we get new cards for the regular game, we need to get an understanding of how this game works, of the parameters of this game, and the best way to do that is to have a look at a whole bunch of, frankly, a lot of them very generic cards, but that's how we're going to learn, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we're going to learn. So one thing that appears to be the case, and again, none of this is official or confirmed, just to be clear, but it would appear that your bench is limited to 3. It seems like if you look at this game, we see in the screenshots that we've had, we see benches of 3, but we don't see more than that. And it doesn't appear like there's actually space for more than that. So I'm thinking we've got a real hard limit of a bench space of 3. That's a big change. It also kind of makes Pikachu EX a little bit busted, because 2 energy, 90 damage? That could actually be really good. Now, it's 120 and gives up 2 prizes. More on that in a minute, because prizes is actually, yeah. But that seems like a pretty good Pokemon. Again, we've not seen how the game works properly. We don't know exactly what's good or not. But also, if you can have 5 bench Pokemon, this Pikachu becomes actually busted. Being able to hit 150 in a format where we've got 120 HP, 2 prizes, yeah. So that's another reason why it really does look like we got a bench of 3. Similarly, it doesn't look like we've got prize cards. Now, firstly, if you have a look at the screen, where are the prize cards? They're not on there. And secondly, if we have a look at the top and the bottom, those appear to be prize points. They appear to be basically a little counter of how many prizes need to be taken, and there's 3 of them. Now, as a side note, this would lead me to believe that we don't have 60-card decks, that we're going to be having smaller, more compact decks. None of this is confirmed, but this does seem to be the way we're going here. Also, take a look at this big scan of Charizard, which I've taken off of the video. EX rule, when your Pokemon EX is knocked out, your opponent gets 2 points. Not prizes, 2 points. Which really seems to go for the whole 1, 2, and 3 points at the top. So it seems like it's essentially a free prize game with 3 bench spaces and no prize cards. Now, the no prize cards thing is very interesting, because if we're going to have a smaller deck, then you take out prize cards, that has a much bigger impact. If you're taking random cards to be put down as prizes, like in the regular TCG, that is going to have a much bigger impact when you're rocking with a smaller deck. That is not what we want. So having smaller decks, which again is not confirmed, I've not seen anything to suggest they're definitely smaller decks. If you have, please let me know in the comment section. But it seems to be that if you have prize cards coming out of smaller decks, that's a problem. So what do? You take away the prize cards, and then that becomes much less of an issue. And it really does seem like the 1, 2, and 3 at the top and bottom are counting those prize points, because again, where else would they be shown on the screen? That seems pretty gosh darned obvious. I could be wrong, but it does seem obvious to me right now. And as well as prize cards, it looks like energy's being taken out of the deck. Now here we're having to kind of make stuff up as we go along a little bit. But for instance, I showed you the Moltres yesterday, that for a single energy lets you flip 3 coins, and for each heads, you take an energy out of the energy zone and attach it to one of your benched fire Pokemon. That's not from your hand or your discard, that is from the energy zone. We've seen a couple others as well. There is a Brock supporter card that lets you attach a fighting energy from your energy zone to either a Golem or an Onyx. Obviously very appropriately thematically for Brock, who, loves them rock-type Pokemon. So yeah, that seems there as well. We've also seen a Gardevoir, which has, again, a very, very similar kind of thing going on here. Lets you attach a psychic energy from your energy zone to your active psychic Pokemon once during your turn. So it seems to be that the best way I can equate this, and again, all this is unofficial, let's be clear, but it feels like the Don system from One Piece. Now, for those of you that don't play One Piece, the way Don cards work is you have a Don deck, which is separate to your regular deck. And at the beginning of every turn, except for your first turn if you go first, you add 2 Don from your Don deck to your field. 2 more Don become available every turn. So I'm thinking the way it works is something along the lines of every turn you get to attach 1 energy from your energy zone to your Pokemon, but then you've got cards like Moltres, like Brock, like Gardevoir that can allow you to attach extra energy. But the fact that there is an energy zone and we have 3 different cards that are referring to attaching cards from the energy zone really, really tells us, or at least heavily suggests, that there is no such thing as energy in the deck. And this, look, the whole point of this game is it's supposed to be a streamlined version of the Pokémon TCG. So if we have smaller bench space, fewer prizes, smaller decks, but then we take away the concept of prize cards and energy, which do sometimes make the game clunky. Prize cards make your deck not work so well, energy can get gummed up in your hand and you have too much or too little, and it becomes a bit of a pain. That will streamline the game. Once again, everything here is completely unofficial and unconfirmed. What we're doing is we're having a look at some screenshots we've got of the game in action, looking at what some of the cards say, and mashing that together into predictions. But if you have a look, is there anything I've said here that seems untrue? Honestly, no, I feel really, really good about my predictions. One of the biggest questions we've still got is, how do you get packs and what are the in-game currencies and all of that? We're unfortunately no closer to that. There were no real clues in the trailer. We know that you can just get packs randomly sometimes, and we know that you can get 2 free packs a day. Is that the same thing? Or do you get 2 packs at the start of the day and other times you get packs just given to you? I don't know. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. But we do have a whole bunch of cards that have been revealed. So what we're going to do here is very quickly run through the cards that have been shown. Most of them, I'm afraid, I have to show you Japanese scans because that's all we have. And I'm sorry, I'm showing you Japanese scans over blurry half images from a trailer. But you can see from here where we're going. So we've got a 70 HP basic Bulbasaur, 2 energy, 40 damage. We've got a 50 HP basic Vulpix, and it lets you flip a coin, and if heads, during your opponent's next turn, the Pokemon that you attacked can't attack, which can be nice for slowing them down. If we stick with basics, we've got a 60 HP Ponyta, single energy 20, 60 HP Squirtle, single energy 20, 60 HP Psyduck, single energy 10 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, they cannot play supporter cards from their hand. We've got a Shelder, 60 HP, single energy 20. Magikarp, 30 HP, single energy 10. Gutted for Magikarp, it's still super weak. Pikachu, 60 HP, single energy 20. You might be seeing a bit of a theme with these evolving basics. Now, Pincurchin, remember, is a basic with no known evolutions, so we would expect it to be slightly better. 70 HP, 2 energy, flip a coin if heads paralysis. We've got ourselves a Hitmonlee, again, non-evolving basics, we expect it to be a bit better. 80 damage, single energy, and it does 30 to one of your opponent's bench. Watch out, Magikarp. We got a Dratini, 70 HP, 2 energy, 40, which honestly looks really good. Chansey, 120 HP, 3 energy, 60. Chansey has always been beefy. Kangaskhan, again, very beefy, 100 HP, single energy, flip 2 coins, 30 for each heads, which incidentally, from all the cards we've seen so far, this looks ridiculously good. huge HP, and the possibility of doing 60 for a single colourless. I mean, from the cards we've seen so far, that one's going in every deck I make. That looks redonk. We've got an Eevee, 60 HP, single energy 20, there's a theme. We've got Snorlax, who we expect to be bigger, 150 HP, 4 energy 70. The 4 energy is obviously huge. And then we've got ourselves a Wooloo, 70 HP, 2 energy 30. A Lapras, who we expect to be bigger, 100 HP. And for a single energy, it's 20 damage. But if you've got free water energy attached to it, then you get to do an extra 70. Just to confirm, it's free extra energy, so 4 in total, that's important. We got a Meowth, 60 HP, single energy, 10 damage, draw a card. I'm really liking that. So what we see here is lots of 60 HP basics. Slightly lower than we generally expect in the game at the moment, but not too much lower. The basics hold up nicely. And that honestly kind of holds. A lot of these stage 1s are what we would expect. Vaporeon, 130 HP, free energy, 60 damage, heal 30. It's expensive and weak, but the HP is about right. Haunter, 80 HP, single energy, 30. We got a Slowbro, 130 HP, free energy, 80. Not too bad. And then we got an Aerodactyl, 2 energy, 100 HP. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's Pokemon, their active Pokemon, get shuffled into their deck or returned to their deck, which is kind of ridiculous. And we see here that a lot of these are, in terms of HP, roughly in line with what we expect in the regular game, but the attacks do tend to be a little bit weaker or more expensive. But you really start seeing the differences with EXs and stage 2s. So take Gardevoir as an example. 110 HP is horrendous, especially when you consider most of the basics have 60. That is not high for a stage 2. Or is it? We don't know. There's a lot we don't know about this game. Free energy 60 seems terrible, but being able to accelerate an energy seems really good. We could take a look at Charizard EX, for instance. 180 HP, but on a stage 2 EX is clearly horrendous. And then we got free energy 60, or 4 energy 200, and you have to discard 2 of them when you attack. We could take a look at Mewtwo EX, 2 energy 50, or 4 energy 150, and you have to discard 2 psychic energy from this Pokemon. Crucially, Mewtwo, you have to discard 2 psychic. Charizard, you do have to discard 2 fire energy. And then Pikachu, 2 energy, 33 to your bench Pokemon, actually looks really good. Like, get this going, and then turn 2, assuming you're not getting 2 energy on turn 1, you're just KOing all of those little evolving basics. Pikachu seems really good. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know how good it will end up being, but one very important thing is we don't know much about this game. We don't know what the meta is going to look like. We don't know so much about it. We don't know how decks are going to be constructed. There is a lot we don't know. So bearing in mind, when I'm giving you all of this, I'm giving you early opinions and nothing more. Also, we got the Moltres, which is single energy, flip 3 coins and you get the energy back, or free energy 70, and 70 looks to be a key number in this game. So yeah, there is a lot we don't know about this game, but it certainly does seem to be that we've got lower HPs, weaker attacks, and it's a game where we're going to be setting up a bit more. Again, we don't actually know this, let's be clear. It seems to be that we're rocking with free bench Pokemon, free prize points rather than prize cards, and an energy zone, which is going to streamline deck building massively. But again, we don't know. There we go. That's everything I can figure out. Now it's over to you guys. If there's stuff you figured out that I haven't, let me know in the comment section. If you've got predictions I've not mentioned, even if I have, let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. Oh, and get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Jelena Renji, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.